Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Continuing mantra 5. That moves not. Tad dure, tad antike. Neither Brahman is neither far nor near. It's far and near. Dure, distance, farthest. Antike, closest. No distance, zero distance. Even to say Brahman is near is not the right thing, because you are that. Tattvamasi Shvetaketo, Chandogyopanishad has said it very clearly. Therefore, even to say it is near is not the actual thing, and yet he says it is far and near. Near to the one who follows the two lifestyles, far to the one who doesn't follow that. Tad dure, tad antike. Or from another angle. Or we can keep saying whatever we want to say. It's so beautiful. Dura for one. This is how Shankaracharya starts the Bhashya. When Shankaracharya starts his Isavasyopaniṣad, he says that dure and antike means to the one who's following the recommended Vedic lifestyle of pravritti and nivritti, it is close. For the one who's not following this lifestyle, it is far. Tad dure, tad antike. Antarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasya bhahyatah. It is antara, it is bhahya. It is antara, inside of all this, and it is outside of all this, all at the same time. That is implied here, Prasad. All happening at the same time. Brahman seems to move from the standpoint of the conditioned reflection, the mirror example, the sun and the mirror example. The sun above is stationary, the sun in the mirror seems to move. But even though the movement seems to happen, it is an appearance. For in reality, there is no movement. It is inside, it is outside. Far, near. So what he has done, mantra 4 and 5 gave us some indicators of Brahman. And then he is going on to describe the very beautiful thing. The benefit of the knowledge. Jnana phalam. The benefit of this knowledge. And when he comes to the benefit of this knowledge alone, we get into more complications, where we'll feel like reading mantra 1 and 2 is very comfortable, sir. At least we are simply sitting and theorizing anyway, which we are not going to do. So that is very good. But this and all is getting more and more complicated. So the Jnana Phalam, mantra 6. Mantra 6 pari.
Yastu sarvāni bhūtānyātmaṇyevānupashyati sarvabhūteshu chātmānam tato na vijugupsate. Yastu sarvāni bhūtānyātmaṇyevānupashyati sarvabhūteshu chātmānam tato na vijugupsate.
He indeed who perceives all beings in the very self and the self in all beings, he then feels no abhorrence, hatred, vijigupsa. He indeed who perceives all beings in the very self and the self in all beings, he then feels no hatred. Remember, carefully follow. Isavasya is not saying love will be born. Isavasya is saying hatred will go. You should notice the difference. And it's a very fundamental difference. Everywhere it will be said, you will become more. We have heard only love, you will become very loving, you will become very compassionate and all that. No, Isavasya doesn't say that. Isavasya takes it from a different angle. He says, Tato na vijugupsate. Tataha na vijugupsate. First benefit of jnana, the first benefit of knowledge is what? No vijugupsa. Hatred will come to an end in that person who sees the self in all animate and inanimate. That's what he said. Hatred will come to an end in the very self and the self in all beings. All beings means animate and inanimate. Isavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. So that is understood from the first mantra. So what is he saying here? When a person begins to see Brahman everywhere, inanimate and inanimate, what happens? The whole existence, when he starts seeing Brahman, the reality, what happens? He'll become very loving. He'll become very compassionate. These are the words that we are used to. These are the words that we like to also. Upanishad says, hatred will go away. Picking on this, Krishna in the 35 qualities, he says, Adveshta sarva bhutanam. Picking on this Vijigupsa, which is the Jnana Palam, he elaborates 35 qualities in chapter 12. Where does it come from? Na Vijigupsate. No hatred goes out. Love is a willingness to sacrifice. Hatred is the willingness to destroy. Again, what is love and hatred? Love means the willingness to sacrifice. Hatred is willingness to destroy. The feeling what we call as love is nothing but hatred. What we call as love, what I say I love, I am in love. Isavasya comes and says, Shankar, idavuda arai mudiyadu munji. He only said it should come so powerful, sir. Idavuda, how can it say? What you call as love is nothing but hatred. All along we have been hearing what you call as love is attachment. Now we are hearing something deeper. What you call as love is nothing but hatred. How do you say that? When I say I am in love, I make the other a means for my happiness. What is love? What people call as love? I'm using the other, I'm making the other as a means for my happiness. The moment my happiness stops, what happens? Dvesha comes. Therefore, in truth what it is? Dvesha waiting to manifest. So in reality, our love is nothing but Dvesha waiting to manifest. That's all. Therefore, Upanishad says, otherwise how to understand him saying Dvesha disappears. Tataha na vijugupsate. That's why he says, most of the sacrifices that you call a sacrifice is for your benefit only. Most of the time we perform sacrifices and we believe those sacrifices are done for the benefit of the others. There is no other at all in it. There is only you in it. Why? Because there is something in it for you. And the moment that in it for you is taken away, what is your feeling towards that person or object? Hatred. That's why the wise one rise above this love and hatred, because he understands where there is love, very soon it's going to turn into a hatred. It's a question of time. That's all. Are you okay till now? In order to continue to receive the love from you, the other person should continue to do what? What you like. So as long as you keep doing what I like, and as long as you avoid what I dislike, I will. So if I have to receive love from you, what I should do? I have to act according to your likes and dislikes. Then only you will love me. The moment that stops, what is the reality that comes up? Hatred. Here the Upanishad is saying the first benefit of this knowledge is what? No vijigupsa. Hatred goes out. There is no such thing called hatred at all. No jigupsa. No hatred. The first benefit of knowledge is what? No hatred. Wanting the other to behave according to my pattern of likes and dislikes. Wanting the other to behave according to my notions, my conditionings, my morals, my ethics, my likes, my dislikes. So the center is where? The center is not on the other, the center is on you. Temporarily the other is coming into the radar. Temporarily the other came into the radar, and something the other person will do which you will not, which you cannot accept or which you will not do. Instantly what goes out?
Love.
The so-called love goes out. Tato na vijugupsate. This person doesn't have hatred at all. Opposite of that is turn into a mirror. Opposite of that is simply turn into a mirror. You simply reflect the other. Mirror doesn't have any original image of itself. That is the Jnana Palam. The mirror doesn't have any original image of itself. That's why it can reflect anything and everything clearly, precisely, exactly in the way as it is. Jnanam doesn't. As a result of this, there is no complication at all. What is the complication? Hatred goes out. From another angle, have you ever observed the intensity of your hatred is much more than the intensity of your love? There is an intensity of hatred and then there is an intensity of love. Have you ever observed the intensity of hatred will always be deeper and stronger than the love? Because you feel hurt. You feel hurt. I'm hurt, sir. I am hurt. Isavasyopaniṣad says, where is the scope for you to get hurt? Everything is functioning according to the nature. Why are you getting excited, or why are you getting hurt? Of the two, what is more dangerous? The intensity of the hurt is more dangerous. That's why you want to. Sometimes the hatred so high that murder happens, no? Murdering the loved ones. You murder the ones that you loved. You murder the ones that which you exchanged roses. You murder the one with which you exchanged love letters. Why? Why? Because it is not unnecessarily you developed a hope on that. And now that hope is lost. What develops now? Hatred. For the person who has this sutra, this mantra says, this Upanishad says, hatred will come to an end. He will not say love will blossom. He will say hatred will come to an end. Another angle. Longevity of love versus longevity of hatred. Over generations, hatred continues. Gratitude doesn't continue over generations. Have you ever seen gratitude continuing over generations? No. But hatred continues over generation. Oh, this person did this family person did that to my great-grandfather, where we have not met even. We don't even know who they are, and we don't even know who did what to the other. But hatred continues. The longevity of hatred versus the longevity of love. Longevity of gratitude versus understand. Don't use the word love, because Upanishad doesn't like the word love. Upanishad has an aversion to the word love. Upanishad loves the word gratitude. So we also stick to the word gratitude. Yeah. Love and all, they say, what love? All kindergarten stuff it is. Even at 80 you behave like a teenager. Know what to do. Yeah, at 80 also they will behave as a teenager, what to do. Upanishad says, shift it to gratitude. Shift from love to... So, the conflict is always, it's not between love and hatred. The conflict is between gratitude and hatred. And how can you be ungrateful to any aspect of nature? Since you are grateful to the entire thing in creation, you will be grateful to all. If you are grateful to Rama, you will be grateful to Ravana also. You will not say, I love Rama and I hate Ravana. No. Because if Rama taught you something, Ravana also taught you something. No. What a sacrifice Ravana made by teaching you how not to live. So in fact you should be more grateful to Ravana then, because Rama said he taught you in a different way. Ravana also taught you in a different way. Prasad. So gratitude is to both. Therefore, how can you hate? Tato na vijugupsate. This person doesn't have hatred at all. A person who doesn't have hatred at all becomes a mitra, friend to everybody. That's why he's called Vishwamitra. He's a friend to the whole universe. He is Vishwamitra. There's a rishi called Vishwamitra, and Gayatri Mantra was revealed to Vishwamitra. That's why even today when we say Vishwamitraha Nishrit Gayatri Chandaha, when we do the Gayatri, we say thank you to Vishwamitra. Why? Because it revealed to him. His original name is Kaushika. His original name is not Vishwamitra. His original name is Kaushika. He is called Vishwamitra. He is known as Vishwamitra. Why? Because he doesn't have any hatred at all. He doesn't have hatred at all. Do you have an obligation? Yes. Do it. What that person does is that person's business. Mandodari. If you want to learn gratitude, tato na vijugupsate, you should learn from Mandodari. Mandodari is Ravana's wife. To be a Rama and being a faithful, what is the problem? Anybody can do that. To be a Ravana and still she is faithful, there is something so different in her. That's why we have a great value for not Sita. We should change the culture. From Upanishad will say that. Upanishad will say it is from not Sita, it is Mandodari. Why? Because see a person like Ravana and how not to hate. She knows something about life more deeply than anybody else. Tato na vijugupsate. The first benefit of knowledge is what? No jigupsa. No. In fact, 3 benefits. Hatred, jigupsa nivritti, shoka nivritti, moha nivritti. Next mantra he is going to say, Tatra ko shokaha ka mohaha. He is going to ask, where is shoka and where is moha for that person? It means there is nothing. He is not asked where it is. No, it is a rhetoric, it's a way of saying there is nothing. So what is the benefit of Isavasya? 3 things goes out. Hatred goes out. Shoka goes out. Moha goes out. In this verse, we are talking about very profound mantra. We keep saying this for each and every mantra. We keep saying this. It doesn't make any... Very important and profound. And these 2 mantras will be quoted very often. All the traditional commentaries, if you go and see, 6 and 7 will be quoted. So much it will be quoted. Why? Because the proof of having knowledge, indicators. How do you know that you are gaining this knowledge? What are the indicators? Some indicators are given, are needed. And Upanishad gives us 3 indicators over which you can never get confused. For all other indicators can confuse. These 3 indicators can never confuse. Do you have hatred? Do you have grief? Yes. Then knowledge has not yet seeped in. Are you in grief? Are you having? Sir, but if I see bad things, what do I do? If I see bad things, what do I do? What do you do? There is a law that is going to function. Why should you have hatred? That's all. Are you able to follow? There is a law that is functioning. Why should you have hatred and unnecessarily increase your blood pressure? That's what he said. No hatred. Because of knowing the law. Previous mantra, he said, air sustains life means, what did we say? All laws are functioning. Or is functioning. Not or is going to function future tense. It is functioning even now. Because you are not able to see it, first problem you have is hatred. Because you are not able to see the laws that is functioning effectively all the time, you develop hatred. So here he says, Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmanam Tataha Na Vijugupsate. This is the second part of the mantra which we took up first. And then the first part of the mantra now. The second part of the mantra, if we continue, whipping is too much of whipping. So we take a break here. Because one more mantra is there, no. So first lash is given. Sir, give us a break. Okay, we'll go to the first part of the mantra. Again the language of contradiction. What is the language of contradiction? The world is in Brahman and Brahman is in the world. Again, Brahman, the world is in Brahman and Brahman is in the world. Naturally wonder how is it possible. We should wonder actually, isn't it? But here we will not wonder because we are all Shankaracharyas already, isn't it? Naturally there is a wonderment. What is a wonderment? We are all in the hall. That is correct. We are all in the hall. First statement is correct. The second statement, what? The hall is in us. How can you accept that? Huh? How can you say that? Upanishad says that. You got a vessel and water inside. You have a bottle and water inside. So what is the right way of saying it? water in the vessel. Correct. Water in the bottle is understandable. You cannot say the bottle is in the water. Upanishad is saying that. This is the contradiction. Now, how do you reconcile that? For which you should go back to the technical analysis. Karana Karya Sambandha. It's called cause and effect relationship. If you go and do that analysis, it becomes very clear as to how they are saying it becomes correct. Take the off-quoted example, gold and ornaments, cause and effect. Language of contradiction will fit in perfectly there. Again I repeat, if you take the gold and ornaments, the cause and effect will fit in very correctly there. Isn't it? All the ornaments are in gold. How do you say all the ornaments are in gold? Because without gold, the ornament cannot exist. All ornaments are in gold. Correct. The converse is also correct. Gold is in all ornaments. The converse is also correct. The moment you bring in this, it becomes very clear as to what he is saying. It means what? Nama Rupa is the effect. The cause is that which is above Nama Rupa. For if it has its own Nama Rupa, it cannot become another Nama Rupa. But here, all Nama Rupa is becoming possible. All names and forms is becoming possible because originally it doesn't have any Nama Rupa. Just as gold can become any size, any shape ornament because it doesn't have its own original shape and size. So, now we can say what? Gold alone is in all ornaments. Gold alone is in all ornaments. When we say gold alone is in all ornaments, carefully follow. What the Upanishad wants us to understand is, it is the gold that is appearing like this. For that person, no hatred. Are you able to connect now? He is saying, it is the gold that is appearing as all ornaments. For a person who has understood that, what goes out? Nama Rupa goes out. When Nama Rupa goes out, hatred goes out. For hatred is always intimately connected with Nama Rupa. Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmanam Anupashyati. Tato na Vijagupsate. This Anupashyati is very important. Pashyati means seeing. Anupashyati means Shastric way of seeing. Again I repeat. Pashyati means seeing. Anupashyati means seeing the way in which the Shastras describe it. What is the Shastric way of teaching us to see? What you see is name and form. And this name and form that you see is supported by the base. So, Karana, Karya. Actually, there is no cause and effect also. So, at one level, we will talk about cause and effect. At another level, we say it is an appearance. It's a transformation. It's an appearance. For the name and form can be removed from the gold cannot be removed. That's why all the ornaments can be taken back to the gold. All the ornaments can be taken back as the original gold. Correct? Huh? By knowing all these, what is the benefit? You are that. That is the benefit. So it's not saying God is that. It is concluding by saying You are that. And that you are is the benefit of this knowledge. How does it expresses itself? For a person who's understood Tattvamasi, how does it manifest itself? Tataha na vijugupsate. Tataha na vijugupsate. Vijugupsa is how to translate hatred. Vijugupsa means it's like that feeling of aversion, revulsion, contempt, aruvarupu, irritation. Vijugupsa means that yuck feeling. Vijugupsa is nothing but the thought of it itself is so yuck. The thought. And we always have a few like that in our life. That person need not come in front and all. That person need not come. Appearances and all is not needed. The thought will come and followed the thought, Okay, Vijugupsa. When we give the example of Naraka, what is the example of Naraka we give? Sipping tea. Correct. Remember that example? Sipping tea in Naraka? Hell, sipping tea in hell. Person did all the mistakes in life, and that naturally that person will go to hell only, Naraka. By mistake, he did one good act also. So what Yama did, he said, for one good act that you have done, I will take you the tour of hell. Choose whatever you want. One choice you don't have. What? No hell, that choice you don't have. In the hell, choose. So suffering is, you have no choice to escape suffering. But how you want to suffer, you choose. What kind of a choice is that? Isn't it? But that person has done all the acts in the past that will deserve this only. What can Yama do now? Because that is his job. That is the job Brahman gave to. So he has to do the job perfectly. He went through the tour of the hell. And what is the tour there? One fellow is constantly whipped, isn't it? He's constantly whipped, bleeding. One more whip, the fellow will die in hell. If you die here, you will go there. If you die there, where will you go? So you can't die there. So one more thing, you will die. So immediately doctor will come. The heavenly doctor will come, apply medicines, balms. You are fit again for the next round of beating. This is Naraka. Like that, another punishment. What is the punishment? Dipped and taken out. What? Burning oil, fried. Bhaji, isn't it? They are made into that bhaji. Bhaji means, I don't know how to say that in English. Fritters, okay. Ash, you understand what is a fritter? That is one punishment. You will be dipped in and then you will be taken out. You will be dipped in and then you will be taken out. For how long? Till whatever time it is decided. Predetermined time it is. He saw all the punishments one by one. He was not in, he said, is there any? And then there is a dark corner in the hell. The person said, I want to go there. Yama said, that is for special people. Yeah. Vedanta class people, that is. 9 to 14, I am not saying that. 9 to 14 Upanishad is going to say that. That is reserved for Vedanta class people only. So you all don't belong to that. And unnecessarily and who all went for retreat? Guaranteed place. No, that's why we invite people. Come. Guaranteed place there. What is that place? What is that Naraka? What is that Naraka there? He saw a group of people standing and sipping tea. That's why we give breaks. Why do you think we give tea and all? What? You all forgot? No. You forgot. When you give tea, you should remember. In a tea break, you should not go out only. Why go there? So that's the tea break. So this person saw a group of people standing and sipping tea. He thought, good punishment, better than getting dipped in the oil every time, better than being whipped all the time. This is better. Yama cautioned and said, no. I'm telling you again, it is for special people. You don't take this. See what is in the pit. He peeped into the pit. And what the person saw in the pit? Anybody? Freshly sourced pus. From where they source, God only knows. Pus, when the wound is getting rotten, something oozes out. That is pus. And the pit is filled with pus. Up to knee height. And they're all standing there and sipping tea. And that person still thought it is better. Still it is better, no. Because getting then whipped, up to knee, you stand there, sip tea, it's okay, no. I want this punishment. Emma said, are you sure? Yes, I want this punishment. The supervisor. Do you want this? The person says, yes. Having chosen, you can't escape. This is the punishment. Okay, I take this punishment. Jump. He jumped into the pit and looking for the tea glass. Looking for the tea and the tea glass. As he jumped into the pit and looking for the tea glass, the ringmaster came, blowing the whistle. All of you stand upside down. What do you feel there? What do you feel? Yak. That is hatred. That is Vijigupsa. You have that towards some people. You have that towards some beings. Benefit of knowledge is what? From the root, the potential for hatred goes out. It is not hatred towards a particular person goes out. It is not hatred towards a particular being goes out. The potential for hatred goes out. Tato avijugupsate. This is the first benefit of this knowledge. 6 mantras, if you hear, what is the benefit? Hatred goes out. Okay, what is the sadhana? What is the practice to develop for the hatred to go away? Start saying thank you. Start saying thank you. But we also say thank you with hatred, isn't it? அவங்கெல்லாம் நல்லா இருக்கணும் சார் we say, isn't it? நல்லா இருப்பாங்க சார் அவங்கெல்லாம். What does it mean? They all will rot in the hell forever, isn't it? Hatred. Why this intense? Why this intense hatred? Tataha na vijugupsate. Are you okay till now? Now comes the another meaning of Vijigupsa. This is the first meaning of Vijigupsa. Now we are going to see another meaning of Vijigupsa, which is what we have been talking about most of the time. The second meaning is also the intended. The second meaning is also very important to know. First meaning is revulsion, disgust, all that we said. The word jigupsa prefixed by V, vijigupsa. Tataha na vijigupsate, meaning no jigupsa. No jigupsa. That's a meaning. Jigupsa is derived from the root meaning. This is the Vedic way of doing it. That Vijigupsa is derived from the root gup, It's the gup. It's a Sanskrit root. Gup meaning to protect oneself. That's why gopis all comes on this. All of them trying to protect themselves. No vijugupsa means no desire to protect yourself. No desire to keep the ego alive. That is another meaning. First meaning is elementary meaning. We don't worry about that meaning a lot. That is also very meaningful. The second meaning is much more meaningful. Vijugupsa means no desire to protect oneself. Meaning, he is not doing Atmahatya as we said in the previous. He is ready to let go of the ego. That is another meaning of Tataha na vijugupsate. For a person who has gained this knowledge, what happens? The fundamental problem of samsara will go away. What is the fundamental problem of samsara? Insecurity will go away. Sense of insecurity which starts from birth and continues into death, into future janmas also. No vijugupsa means no insecurity. So, now you have two meanings. Jnana palam. One is no hatred, another is no insecurity. What is insecurity? You cling on to things only because of insecurity. No. If you are secure, you will not cling. You are walking on the firm ground, you are not clinging on to anything. If you are hanging somewhere, you want to cling. Ego feels hanging without anything. Therefore, what it does, it clings. It clings. Insecurity. It feels insecure. Hanging. Therefore, what it does, it goes on clinging to so many things. So, another meaning of the word vijugupsa is freedom from insecurity. Freedom from insecurity means what? Every stage of life is backed by intense insecurity. How to shift the understanding now? If you understand you are the gold and not the ornament, no insecurity. If you look at the Nama Rupa, there is insecurity. If you look at the gold, there is no insecurity. Tato na vijugupsate. There's another meaning. And Upanishadic Rishi will be more interested in the second meaning, not so much in the first meaning, because that is all elementary kindergarten stuff. Okay? Because a person having that kind of intense hatred and all can't even come and sit here. Or it's not even worth talking to that person. You follow what I'm saying? So what is the second meaning of vijugupsa? No insecurity. Because the word jigupsa comes from the root word, the gup, meaning always I want to protect something. Tataha na vijugupsate. First meaning is insecurity. The second meaning is hatred. So benefit of jnana palam. Vijugupsa means you can say freedom from insecurity, freedom from hatred. In the context of the lifestyle of bhakti and all that, the hatred meaning will be spoken a lot. Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha. That's how we started. From another angle, the same vijugupsa will be said in the sense of insecurity. No insecurity at all. Because the gold will not feel any insecure. As many names and forms can come and go, the gold always feel, because there is no insecurity there. Tato na vijugupsate. It means what? The experience doesn't change. The way you look at the experience changes. The drishti changes. It's a change of perception. It is not a change of the situation. Again I repeat. It is not the change of the situation. Situation remains the same. It is the change of perception. Because of this new perspective, Because of this new perception, what goes out? Hatred goes out. Insecurity goes out. What a freedom is to live life without hatred and insecurity. Wicked, vicious people, sir. Why are you feeling insecure? Why are you having hatred? Nothing is permanent. Edu puchalum poine irudhu, sir. Anything that I do is turning into a loss only. Always feeling insecure. First benefit of knowledge is what? No hatred, no insecurity. This is the first benefit in this mantra. Later mantras is going to give the other benefits. So understand these two meanings. Yes, Raghu.
So the source of hatred
Yes.
is not the other.
Yes.
My own insecurity.
Correct.
Although the hatred manifests us on somebody else.
Yes.
Saying the source of that hatred is actually I am the source of my hatred.
Correct.
Not the other.
Not the other. Correct. That's why we say in a very loose way, world is never the cause. You are the cause. Because the same person, the same situation, somebody else is behaving so differently. No. Somebody else is not having this problem. No. Same person, same situation. Correct? So it shifts the responsibility. You follow? Change of perception means what? The responsibility shifted. From ignorance to knowledge. From the wrong reasons to the right reason. Are you able to follow? Responsibility shifted. Not them. It is. If it is hatred, it is. The seed of hatred is in you. Not because the presence of the other. Correct. Hatred is not because of the presence of the other. Hatred is because of the seed is in you. In what form? Whatever form we discussed already. We are not going into that again. Are you okay till now? Raghu? Okay. Now little bit about psychology of hatred. Now a little bit about that. For you to have an aversion, you are all able to hear me, no? Because I stopped hearing long back. I am not hearing what I am saying. At any point of time, if you are not able to hear, and I don't know whether I am talking sense also because I am not hearing what I am saying. For you to talk sense, you should hear what you are talking, right? Bharat, correct? No. Then only you can talk sense. If you are not hearing or listening to what you are talking, you can never be sensible in your talk. So for the last 1 hour, I am not hearing anything. Are you okay till now? Oh, Pada, correct, sir. You are insensible. What do you mean? Okay. Psychology of hatred now. 2 conditions you need for aversion to happen. What are the 2 conditions? It should be something other than you and it has to appear defective. Again I repeat, for you to have hatred, 2 conditions it has to fulfill. Any aversion towards anything will have these 2 conditions. If these 2 conditions are met, then only you will have hatred. What are the 2 conditions? First condition is it should be other than you. Because howsoever bad and wicked you are, you can't hate yourself. Correct? So it has to be other. The second is it has to be a defective. Upanishad will use the word dushta vastu. Bharat. Hatred eppo varunna otherness irukanum. Anyata dushtaha it says. It should be the other and it should be a dushta. Dushta means defective. So hatred comes when you see a defect. And the defect is your perception. That defect is your perception. Tato na vijugupsate. Tataha na vijugupsate. Beautiful mantra. Are you able to follow? 2 conditions for hatred. It should be other than you. For if it is a part of you, you will never have hatred. Just as the mother can never have hatred towards the child. The mother may correct the child, but she will never have hatred. Why? Because oneness is there. So first condition for hatred is otherness. Correct? Is the first condition okay? Second condition, it should appear defective. When otherness and defect combines, what will be your association with that? Sipping tea in Naraka, isn't it? Can't stand, except this one person, I can. Yeah. Except that one person, sir. And everybody in life will always have one person. Again, I have to ask. Are you okay till now? We'll go to the next now. You know, all your hatred springs from your love only first. First you have to love, get disappointed, then hatred comes. This is the sequence. First you will love. And love will be followed by, correct? Love will be followed by disappointment. And disappointment will result in hatred. So, the Upanishad is saying, when you are loving only, be careful, for very soon you are going to hate. It's a question of time. 5 days, 5 years, 50 years. It's a question of time. People have hatred towards dead people also, no? They would have dead and gone, but people still continue the hatred. Why? Because they see a defect. This is the climax. For you to see a defect and get hurt, are you defect free? That is the mirror. Upanishad says. Are you defect free for you to complain about the defect of another? That's the mirror. We said mirror, no? What is the mirror? This is the mirror. Straight away what happens? Hatred. You can't hate anybody after this. You just can't hate. You try, you can't. This is the benefit of the knowledge. Are you okay? Raghu. Yes.
So the second condition was it has to appear defective.
Yes.
And appearance of defective means it's not to my liking. That is when it is called.
Exactly. You call it as defective because it is not to your liking. Yes.
So the source of that apparent defect is also my raga dvesha.
My raga, exactly correct. Illana, hatred varave varadi. Otherwise you can never get hatred at all. It has to appear defective. Because will you hate a good product? iPhone. Will you hate it? I am hating it. Because it's broken now. I have to change. And I am seeing now who I can catch. I am seeing now. That's what I am sitting and scouting everybody. But you thought I am teaching you all or what? Phone is broke now. I am thinking who to? Sunil Pata Pao. Then I look at Bharat. Oh my God. Then I look at Meera, pathetic already. Reza, oh, it's already gone. Everything is gone. Okay, continue with whatever. Are you able to follow? It has to appear. See, can you ever hate something which is good in your eyes? You cannot. So for you to hate means you have started seeing the dosha in it. Now carefully follow. That quality is there in the other. You need not have hatred. That is the message here. Again I repeat. That quality in the other is not your imagination. There is a trait in the other. There is a quality in the other. Upanishad is not saying you are imagining that and having hatred. It says it's there. But you need not. That need not develop hatred. That is the benefit of knowledge. Raghu. It's there. We are not saying it's not there. But you need not develop hatred because you have already decided that person should not have that. How can you decide what the other should have and not have? Therefore, you don't have any hatred. Because you can decide what you want to have. How can you decide what the other should have? I don't decide that. So, wise one says, I don't decide what the other should have or should not have. I decide what I should have and what I should not have. That's all. And by living a life, you can inspire somebody also to live that life. By living that life, you can inspire somebody. Opposite of that is this dvesha. Okay, Raghu? Mantra 7.
यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतान्यात्मैवा भूद्विजानतः तत्र को मोहः कः शोक एतत्त्वमनुपश्यतः यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतान्यात्मैवा भूद्विजानतः तत्र को मोहः कः शोक एतत्त्वमनुपश्यतः.
To the realized one, all beings have become the very self. What delusion, what grief can there be for the perceiver of oneness? So here he is talking about the other two benefits. Tatra ko mohaha kashokaha. So where is moha and where is shoka? It means there is no moha, there is no shoka for the wise one. Who is the wise one? Okay, who is the unwise one? You understand the unwise? You can easily understand who is the wise one. Who is the unwise one? A person knows everything about swimming but does not know how to swim. He has written a book on PhD, thesis on swimming. But and that's seen as an authority on swimming, and that person doesn't know swimming. Wise person, Vedic vision. Wise person is what? Who stands beyond shoka, moha, vijugupsa. The wise one, the realized one, according to the Upanishad, is not the knowledgeable one. He is not the all-knowing one. He stands above these three. All beings have become the self. All beings have become the self. Okay, opposite of this is exclusivity. Understand the opposite again, it becomes very clear. Opposite of this oneness is exclusivity. And what is this exclusivity? Clinging to one and leaving the rest out. That is exclusivity. Again, what is exclusivity means? I cling on to one. By clinging to that one, I leave the rest out. The moment you cling on to one, a train follows. The moment you cling on to one, train follows. And why you cling on to that one? All your investments is in that one. You are clinging on to that one because all your investment, your mental peace, your investment of your peace and happiness and security and everything is in that one. Whatever be that one. And the mari evlo one vechirundirukkom. How many ones like that we have had in the past? Did anything happen? But that is moha. That is moha. Clinging to one, suffering, and because of suffering, leaving that, as I am leaving that, another hand is trying to catch hold of another. The vicious cycle continues. The vicious cycle continues. Clinging, leaving, clinging, leaving, clinging, leaving. How long? We don't know for how long. The person keeps on doing it. This is freedom from that moha. This is delusion. What is this delusion? Assumption that this will give whatever you are seeking. Every attachment brings sorrow, and every sorrow is suppressed by another attachment. What a deluded life this is, isn't it? What a delusion this life is. Every attachment brings sorrow, and that sorrow is replaced by another attachment, another object or person. Doesn't make any difference. This is the history of all human beings. Moving from one to the other. Sickness comes, medicine is given, and that medicine causes another sickness. So you have to give another medicine to cure that. Thus the cycle continues. This is moha. This is called moha, delusion. And this delusion will result in what? Shoka. So tatra ko shokaha ka mohaha. You stand like a mirror. The person comes, you are thankful. The person leaves, you are not crying. Why are you leaving me? Again I repeat. The wise person lives life like a mirror. When they comes, the mirror heart doesn't break. Why did you leave me? The heart of the mirror doesn't break. It will not say, now how can I live without you? All along you used me. Now how can you dump me like that and go away? How ungrateful. What? The mirror will talk like this. Isn't it? No mirror. You come in front, I reflect. You leave. What will mirror say? When you stood before me, I showed you who you are. If you looked ugly in the mirror, don't blame me for that. Now that you are leaving, I have no displeasure. No shoka, no moha, no shoka. No moha, no shoka. So what is the benefit of knowledge now? 3 you should remember. Vijigupsa, shoka, moha. 3 words. Previous verse he said, tataha na vijigupsate. He made a categorical statement. Hatred will not be there. Now he is saying, where there is shoka, where there is moha means it doesn't exist at all for that person. The emptiness is the dance. So empty that it can accommodate anything and everything. Anything and everything doesn't disturb the ecstasy. The dance, the Nataraja dance it is. So ecstasy it is. So wonderful it is. No shokaha, no moha. To whom? What is the condition? Don't forget the condition. The condition is The condition is this. For a self-realized person. Okay. If you want to become self-realized, what do? Try and practice this. So, sadhana is practicing this with effort. Realization is living this effortlessly. So, at one stage it is done with effort. At another stage it becomes effortless. That's the only difference. Sadhana means you practice it with effort. Self-realization means you live it effortlessly. And we have seen this any number of times. Effortlessness comes with much effort. Effortlessness always comes with much effort. You cannot directly become effortless. Effortlessness comes with much effort. Tatra ko mohaha ka shokaha. Where are these two? Where can be shoka and where can be moha? For all this you see only where there is a duality. Otherness. Brahma arpanam, Brahma havihi, Brahma agnau, Brahmanahutam. I am hungry. Yeah. That's why I am saying I am hungry. Yeah. So because whenever you are hungry, mind goes Brahma arpanam, Brahma havihi, Brahma agnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. It is Brahman. When you see that, there is nothing other than Brahman. Where there is nothing other than Brahman, what shoka, what moha, what hatred? Isavasyopaniṣad. We quoted this on the very first day itself. Chapter 1, Section 4, Mantra 2. Dvitiyayai bhayam bhavati. So, wherever there is two, you will have shoka, moha, vijigupsa, all that. So you don't need 2 minutes to do all this. Where there is two. Dvitiyayai bhayam bhavati. That's why we say the duality with God also there will still be insecurity. Because suddenly you will see some other devotee is closer to God than me now. Insecurity will start. That's why even the dualism is of no help. To get rid of the fear and insecurity. Because you think you are closer to God and then suddenly you see someone else more closer than you. Then what happens? Hatred starts in front of God. Isn't it? Wherever there is duality, it can be anywhere, even in front of God also, problem remains the same. In fact, this is what happened in the Last Supper. In Jesus Christ's life, Last Supper means the last meal he had. Beautiful pictures you can see of the Last Supper. You know what was the conversation going on in that supper? Tade jati tannai jati tadure adallam kedayathu. Because when you are sitting with the master, you should be discussing this. No, that didn't happen in the Last Supper. That didn't happen in the last meeting. They were all discussing and fighting who is the closest. Who is the closest? Peter told Christ, announce now that I am the closest. Peter, that's what Bible says that. I have read it in all the four. All the four says it. Peter says, announce now that I am the closest. And you know what Jesus announced? Peter is saying, announce that I am the closest. For everybody is claiming. There are so many people there. So many, 9 fellows. Of the 9 fellows, broken soldiers, spendthrift, village preacher. Mother, he was living. You know the poem, village preacher. No, Jesus Christ was like the village preacher. Yeah. Or Raj Shankar. Or Meera, but still things were continuing like the village. So he saw fight. What is the fight? There are so many people claiming, announce now that I am the closest to you. Why? Oneness isn't even there. There is no oneness even. Dvitiyayai bhayam bhavati. Ange. That's why we say where all dualist schools also will result in fear only. Why? Because there is the two. Where there is two, everything will start. What will start? Competition, worry, anxiety, who is first, who is close, all that. And what did Christ say to Peter? You know what he said? Oh, you think you are closest? In a matter of few hours, you will deny me thrice, he said. In a matter of few hours, you are going to tell me that I don't know who you are. You are going to deny me thrice. Peter cried, how can you talk about me like that? Don't you see I am the most? Sometimes you also don't see. Christ's power. He is sympathizing with Christ now. See, you are just getting carried away by others. You also don't see. For what you don't see, how I am the most devoted to you, most sacrificial to you. Who? Allah self-declared, isn't it? Before the cock crows, you will deny me thrice. Peter cried, you are talking? No, I won't do that. The soldiers came. Who is Jesus Christ here? Because they don't know. No photograph, no nothing. Isn't it? How to arrest now? Who is Jesus Christ here? Somebody should have said, I am, no? Isn't it? Somebody should have said, I am Jesus Christ, and they should have walked, no? Yeah. This tradition, they would have done it. Yeah. They would have walked. What big deal? So many bodies are gone, one more body going to go. Let it go. At least. So, but all of them looking at that man. Then the soldiers knew who is Jesus Christ. Then they wanted to take all the followers also. Because don't punish that man, punish the followers also. So looked at all the others. Who are all the followers here? Peter said, I don't know who he is. First time he denied. Christ smiled. Second time, he was taken to the court. Meetings happened. Judgment is given. What is it? Crucifixion. It's given. Again the same question. Suddenly somebody showed Peter and said, I have seen this man with him all the time. There's no photo. That's why you should not take photos, should not leave any traces behind and all that. Why do you think you are capturing? I have seen this person with him all the time. No, I was only an onlooker. I don't know who he is. Smile. Again, smile. Dvitiyayai bhayam bhavati. This fellow said it thousands and thousands of years back. Third time, he said, I don't know who he is. And the cock? It means morning time. The process of crucifixion is starting. For a person who self-realized, there is no other thing to fear. There is no other thing to fear. Height of delusion is, will you fear yourself? Looking at your image, if you get frightened, what do we do? Isn't it? Yeah. See, height of delusion abdinna, I don't know. Prasad is so deeply in my memory. Height of delusion abdinna. Not this Prasad, huh? Prasad, please stand up. And we are not talking about this Prasad. That's why I am saying. Yeah. It means we are talking about him only. It means we are talking about him only. He went to China. Prasad, correct? If I am exaggerating, you should tell me. Huh? He went to China. Why he went, God only knows he went. Then he bought a gift for his wife. Going to China is a mistake. buying a gift for the wife is even double mistake. And what is the gift he bought? Snake. 30 feet snake he bought. Not the real snake. No, not the 30 feet snake. So good it is. And then, no, he brought it. Really it happened. Ask him. I was invited by the wife to his house to convince him to remove that. Because he is getting scared looking at that. Not for anybody else. So, what he did, I can't forget that. We were laughing for 3 days. We were laughing on that. What he did, in the staircase, I don't know how much time it took Prasad for you to do that? For the snake to crawl on the staircase. So it's a 30 feet snake, no? So what he did, I don't know how it can be bent and all that. So what he did, through the stairs it was arranged it. Correct. Yeah, he did. All that he did. All this is not a problem. Middle of the night, he came out. He started screaming, snake, snake, snake. Wife gave him. She is not screaming. He is not. Who's afraid? He is afraid. You buy the snake, you get afraid. Looking at, he said, what? This is called moha. Tatra ko moha kashokaha. Where there is no moha, there is no delusion, there is no grief for the one who has no otherness. Understand it like that. No vijigupsa, no shoka, no moha for the one who is self-realized. Because afraid of whom? Where is delusion? Grief. What disappointment that person will have to have? Shoka. Intensity of your disappointment is dependent on. You will get disappointed when? Yes. Wise people do not grieve. Ashochanan vashochastvam pragyavadamsya bhashase gatasuna gatashunscha nanushocanti panditaha. Where is grief, Arjuna? You spoke like a wise person, you spoke. 60 verses you wasted. Speaking like a wise person. And what is the end result of your wisdom? Shoka. Haven't you heard in Isavasyopaniṣad? Tatra ko mohaha ka shokaha. For a wise person. This is a description of a wise person. How does Vedas describe, Upanishad describes a wise person? No shoka, no moha, no vijigupsa. So what is the benefit of knowledge? Jnana palam, shoka, moha, jigupsa, nivritti. That's all. What is the path to become wise now? This is the path. What is the path now? This is the path. Whatever lifestyle you choose, mix pannungo, match pannungo, choose one, don't choose one. Make sure you are free from these three. Pravritti marga, nivritti marga, active, contemplative, mix, match, doesn't do. You do, doesn't worry about all these things. As long as you are having these three. How they can talk and how they can dismiss, that also is Upanishad. They can talk about it and they have the thing to dismiss it also. What are the three things that you do? No shoka, no moha, delusion. Moha is mula avidya, it's called. Moha means fundamental delusion. What is the fundamental delusion? What is the fundamental delusion? The origin doesn't bother. Where you are going to go next doesn't bother. So worried about what is happening Now, in the long scheme of things, this is nothing. What is the moha in the mantra 1? I and mine. What is the moha in mantra 2? Doership. Are you able to follow? The mantra 1 moha is I and mine. Mantra 2 moha is doership. What is the doership? Last example we conclude for today. What is this doership? That's what I was just before the class. The potter says, I made the pot. Anshu, correct? Huh? Did I say it rightly? The potter says, I created the pot. I made the pot. Actually, who you should ask this question? Who created you? Not the potter, no. Who you should ask? The pot only. The pot should answer who created you. So now there is a conversation. We are doing an inquiry to the pot. You go and ask the pot, who created you? What will the pot say? Potter? It will say clay. Potter gets very irritated already because the pot is not saying water. It's saying clay. It's saying sunlight. It's saying the wheel. It's saying so many things and the potter. It's not excluding it. But the potter's exaggerated notion, the pot doesn't recognize. The potter's exaggerated notion is what? I created the pot. It is my creation. Pot will say first mistake it is. What is the second mistake? We cooperated for your desire. What are you talking? All the elements cooperated for your desire. Because the tree doesn't need a pot. The wheel doesn't need a pot. The wood doesn't need a pot. You are in need of the pot. And you came begging to us and we did a favor. Now we did a favor to you by molding ourselves into a pot. Ignoring all that, you say, I created it. How can you accept it? How can you accept it? Therefore, the doership has no meaning at all. Are you able to follow? The doership has no meaning at all. Where it has no meaning, but you think it is so meaningful, that is moha. That which originally has no meaning, but you think it is very meaningful, that is moha. For a wise person here, no moha. Where there is no moha, no shoka also. Because he says, I am an instrument. Of the 100 things that went into the pot, I am one. And when I say I am one, I am not that inferior one or the superior one. Adha no ego. Adha I am not the doer. Oh, irgadile nanda. Of all that, my contribution is the least one. I am like this. Yeah. ನಮ್ಮ ನರಕ್ ಶೇಖರ್ ಮಾದರಿ ಇದು. It's like our narak shaker. I'm like this, he'll go. I say more and more you bend, your ego is getting more and more. You at least stand erect, ego will bend. You are bending, ego is standing erect. Shaker, correct? You are bending, ego is standing erect. Let the ego bend, you stand erect. You follow? Oh, I'm nothing. Somehow the I wants to prove its superiority. So it wants to prove its superiority by saying I am useless. Amongst all those who are useless, I am the best. This is ego. This is another thing. Of all the people who I am the best, of all the useless people, I am the most humble person, sir. There cannot be a most arrogant statement than that. Correct, no? I am the most... Humility becomes the cause for the I to stand erect now. This is moha. How to understand that? The Upanishad alone can teach us this. How to even understand this? In what all ways the I, the moha comes and does it? For a realized one, for a wise one, no shokaha, no moha. Tatra ko shoka, tatra kaha. Where is sorrow? Where is delusion? Where is vijigupsa? It means all three aren't there. When all these three aren't there, you will be known as a wise one. You will be known as a self-realized one. You would have seen the oneness. You would have known the truth, the reality. These are the indicators of jnana. Yes.
These three qualities
Yes.
of not having hatred, not having delusion, not having sorrow. Is it a cause or is it an effect?
Effect.
It is the effect of being realized.
It is the effect of following any one of the lifestyles. He is saying the wise person will have it, and how did he get it? It is an effect. What is the cause? Self-realization is not the cause. The lifestyle is the cause. You lead that of the two lifestyles, any one lifestyle you lead, this will become the effect. So you should connect cause and effect like that. Because after self-realization, the person will say, what shoka, what moha, what vijigupsa you are talking about, all this doesn't even exist. After waking up, what I am talking about, the attachment to the dream and moha, delusion and all that. So we don't take it at that height, we take it as the indicators. That's why we say jnana palam. The benefit of this knowledge is three. So what is the knowledge? Of the two lifestyles, I have to follow one lifestyle. Whatever lifestyle I follow, these three will be the benefit. These three are the benefit. No shoka, moha, vijigupsa.
It's also mentioned in between an example of do this with effort.
Yes.
And then it becomes effortless.
Yes.
Do this with effort indicates that I will consciously avoid hatred, avoid getting confused, etc.
Exactly.
So that implies that I can do it by design.
Yes.
So you do it by design while you are following the lifestyle.
Yes.
So it is both the cause and the effect.
Yes.